Peace to the family. Peace to my comrades. And it's always smoke to the COINTELPRO boxing fan. Family, he did it. Terrance Bud Crawford beat Canelo Alvarez in a fashion that many did not expect. I know I sound a little tired, but family, I've been up since the fight ended, talking to my other comrades about the history that we were blessed to see be made. Like I've been saying all week, God has a plan to always bless you in front of those who think that you're doing something that can't be done. I must admit that when the fight first started, when the event first started, and Bud came out to the music that he came out to, I was a little discouraged. At the post-press conference, Bud Crawford explained that that was actually his childhood friend that performed that song. So, more importantly, what Bud Crawford just did in the ring is way more important. No one's going to be talking about the music Bud came out to. They're going to be talking about Bud coming up 3 weight divisions and beating Canelo Alvarez. I want to give a shout out to 2 of our elders, 2 of our wise statesmen and women. It's easy to switch sides and say, I was with this side the whole time, I said this and the third. But there were only a few people who were actually sticking to a real decision and game plan to 2 fights. First off, I want to acknowledge Queen Shawa. Queen Shawa told me exactly how Vargas was going to get beat by Walsh, and that's exactly what happened. And she stood on her decision. Even when I said, I think the energy that's around him is going to make him fight a little different. And, the version of Vargas that fought at the 12th round against Walsh is how he should have fought the whole time, but Walsh put a clinic on him. Billy versus Martinez, I have to give a shout out to Bomac. He really prepared Martinez to go to war with Billy. In Billy's corner, they either need to add someone or really go back to the drawing board, because the instructions that he was given when he had the fight in the bag was horrible. But I also have to give a shout out to our sensei, our teacher, Stormy B-Man. Stormy B-Man, along with myself and my brother Drew Titan, were some of the only people who, besides just being on cold, told you all exactly how Bud Crawford could beat Canelo Alvarez. Drew Titan did a show just on the scenarios. Stormy B-Man did a show talking about and explaining the difference between a 1, 3, and 5-dimensional fighter. And I did a live where I told you all how Bud could beat Canelo. The plan that Canelo had at first versus Bud, I felt Eddie Reynoso was going to learn from the past. But when I heard that Canelo was shooting up to 181, I said, no, they ain't learned. He's going to get tired. He's going to get spun around. One of those rounds, the one where the clip is going around, where Bud is really letting off on Canelo, that's the round Bud had switched his feet before that clip happened to set him up, get up under him and set him up for that. And it was so beautifully timed and done. The instructions of Bomac to Terrance Crawford, which at this point, if Bomac doesn't get Trainer of the Year, I don't know. Two of those fights, think about it. Martinez versus Mbili and Crawford versus Canelo. Man, Bomac did his thing, but Crawford did his thing. And what I loved is after the fight, Canelo couldn't even call him a runner. Canelo had to bear witness that this man was the better man tonight. This man beat me fair and square tonight. And last, we know who those are, who was rooting against the brother from our own community. You know who you are. And unfortunately for you, you don't get to share this moment. Because even if you lie and you try to run amongst the brotherhood and act like you were with us the whole time, God knows your heart. And you know, when you look in the mirror, you refused to join ranks in unity for our brother, Bud Crawford. I am so proud to have stood in the ranks, to have stood through the furnace of affliction with my brothers like Stormy B-Man, with my brothers like Drew Titan, the General. I appreciate uncompromising sisters who are unapologetic about their pride for who they are and having our backs as well, like the Queen Shawala, like the Queen Sugar Free Mars, like the Queen Cameron Fields and Shaquilla Fields, who always supports all of us that I've seen in these spaces when it comes to being an upright man, a man not afraid to speak the truth. I put out a war call a few days ago on a brother Drew Titan's channel to wake the brothers and sisters up for the midnight hour of the battle ahead. And we will go down in history as being those who stood together even when the odds were against Bud Crawford. But Bud Crawford went in there, he was sharp. A few times he muscled the big man. He started handling business. In my opinion, Bud whooped Canelo worse than Floyd did. I believe for the first time, we were about to see Canelo be stopped in that 12th round. 30 more seconds, Canelo was going down. He was getting tired of having to turn those old knees. Now I'm going to tell you all what's about to take place. They're going to try to make every excuse in the book. But like Bud Crawford said at the press conference, you can't take nothing away from Canelo. He did his thing, but I was the better man. Bud Crawford said, what are y'all going to say now? Reporter stood up and said, the only thing we can say now is congratulations. Ellie Setback, wipe that stupid look off your face. Max Kellerman, wipe that stupid look off your face. The glazing that Max did for Dana White was disgusting, a disgusting display. And furthermore, the world got to see the difference between a clown show and the greatness, the masterful skill of an elite boxing match. There is no comparison when you see the best of the sweet science going against the best. I'm so proud to be a part of this tribe. God is the best knower. Family, don't let anyone take anything away from this win. I don't care what they say about our man, about our champ. I don't give a damn what they say. He did his thing, and we need to root for him the way the Mexican people root for Canelo, the way the Ukrainian people rooted for Loma, the way they root for Usyk, the way Fury's people root for him. I don't care what they say about our man. Yeah, we know y'all had the other side picked. We know that's your man. But Bud Crawford said, I'm going to show you how great I am. I'm mean. I'm bad. My God. He just did something that we haven't seen done on this level since 1932. Except Clarissa Shields, of course, being a 3-time undisputed women's champion herself. But family, don't let anyone take this moment away from you. We just witnessed history. And it feels so good being on the right side of the battle and the right side of history this whole time. The greatest, without the shadow of a doubt, of our generation, in my humble opinion, is the fighting pride from Omaha, Nebraska, Terrance Bud Crawford. And we just saw a once-in-a-lifetime event happen in the sport of boxing. Don't let them steal your joy. Peace to the family. Peace to my comrades. And it's always smoke to you COINTELPRO boxer fans. God is good. In Jesus, Yeshua's name, salute.